Hi, I'm Jessica, and when I'm not drinking all the coffee, watching Razorback sports, or hanging out with my family of boys, it's my passion to help elementary music teachers just like you find your unique teaching style. My goal with this podcast is to share helpful tips, strategies, and to give you the motivation you need to gain momentum in your teaching so you can continue being the music teacher rock star you already are. Welcome to episode 17. Today we're going to be talking all about teaching kids to sing in the elementary music classroom. Now, this is something that I am so excited to talk about because this is something that was so uncomfortable to me to teach elementary music. Let me explain what I mean. So my background is in instrumental music. And so I knew I wanted to teach elementary music, and I knew in order to teach elementary music, I had to do a whole lot of singing, right? That is a big premise of teaching elementary music is to get the kids singing. All right, so I knew in order to teach elementary music, and in order to teach the kids singing, I had to be comfortable singing. And you may be listening to this, and you may be in the same boat I was in, where singing is just not your forte, to use a musical term. You would rather play an instrument or do movement any day of the week. But there has to be a fine balance in the music classroom, right? There has to be a fine balance between doing singing, movement, instruments, songwriting, speech pieces. All of it is very important. So, my background, like I said, is not in singing. So, even in elementary music, I think back to when I was in elementary school, and I was never comfortable singing in the music classroom. And so, when I got to college and I was going along my, degree plan, and I was doing the instrumental music track, I still had to take 2 semesters of vocal singing lessons. Oh my gosh, color me awkward. I remember going to the music store and buying this book that I needed to take into my first vocal singing lesson, and I was like, what am I doing? I have no earthly idea how to sing an aria. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and she's going to think I'm terrible, and this teacher's going to make fun of me and be like, why are you even taking a lesson? Oh my gosh, my confidence level was low, to say the least. So, you guys, I did survive. I survived these vocal lessons. I left she wasn't the music teacher from the Black Lagoon or anything, but I left her lessons with more confidence. And I realized that's why they make people like me take a vocal lesson, because if you're not confident in singing, in order to teach these kids how to sing, you got to go in with confidence more than anything. So my background's in piano. I started playing piano at the age of 6 and then played clarinet all the way through college too. Numerous bands, orchestras, anything you can imagine performing wise I did, but on the instrument side of things. And so anyways, enough about me. I want to apply this to you. If you are an elementary music teacher, and maybe you were like I was and you did the instrumental track and not the vocal track, then you may be like I was. You're standing here and you're like, I know I need to teach my kids to sing, but how am I supposed to get these kids excited about singing and help them to develop their singing voice when myself, am not comfortable singing? So I want to give you some pointers for you as a teacher, but also for how to help your kids develop their singing voice and to be able to sing in your classroom. So with all that said, I talked a little bit about how I thought about myself as an elementary student. I want you to the first thing I want you to do is to put yourself in your student's shoes. You have so many objectives you need to teach these kids each 9 weeks, and it's so hard to sometimes just stop and reflect and think about when you were their age. First of all, it was like 100 years ago, right? Second of all, you don't have time to do that. But what I want you to do is think about being, I'm just going to throw out a number, 9. Think about being 9 years old. And how did you feel in your elementary music class? When your music teacher told you to sing, did you immediately want to? Did you feel like it that day? Was it something you enjoyed doing? Was it something you were comfortable doing? So, yes, what I want you to know is you're going to have some students who come in, and they're the ones who I call the mimes. They're sort of kind of doing the motions with you to the songs, but they're not moving their mouth so much. Then you're going to have the whisper singers, who I kind of dub these all different terms. You know who I'm talking about. These kids who are the whisper singers, who are the ones who are, you can see their mouths moving, and when you put your ear close enough to their mouth without making it awkward, which it's already going to be awkward because you're right there in their face, but they're the whisper singers. You hear the notes coming out, but they're just so soft you can barely hear anything. Then you're going to have your singers who just think they're like the next Mariah Carey. They're singing so loud, and maybe they're matching pitch, but it's so loud that it's just overbearing and it's taking over the whole class. And then you're going to have your silly singers because they're awkward. They feel awkward singing, and so they're just going to try to be silly, singing the songs and try to get attention, but not the right kind of attention. Then you're going to have your singers who are matching pitch perfectly, and they're the kid who you wish everybody else would sing like. And then you're going to have a bunch of other personalities in there too. You can probably relate to one of these children, or maybe a couple of them, right? And what I want to encourage you is, first of all, is you've already thought about yourself when you were their age. Now I want you to think about your students you have, okay? I have seen this so many times where people have asked me this question. I have this one kid, won't sing, and they just stand there. And I look at this person or respond to this email or this direct message or whatever it is, wherever I'm, reading this, and I'm saying, yeah, you're going to. And then they're wanting me to come up with this amazing answer, and there's not one. Because here's the deal. Every child, not only do you have the different types of singers coming in, they're all coming in with different personalities. You cannot force a child to do anything, right? You've all experienced that. So how do you get this difficult child to sing? How do you get your little mime child who's not moving their mouth to sing? Patience. I cannot tell you how many times there's been children who walk in, don't move their mouth for maybe even 3 straight months. And then on month 4, that's the day that they decide to come into music class and start singing. I don't know why. Just keep encouraging them, staying patient, teach them different songs, teach them different songs along the way, different styles of songs, different songs from other cultures, different songs from, genres. And then one day, and then have them standing around the kids who are singing. And one day they're going to decide, you know what, I kind of want to join in now. And don't make a huge deal of it and embarrass them. Everybody look at Johnny, he's singing. Guess what's going to happen to Johnny the next time he comes to music? Yep, he's going to go back to being the mime singer. So you could encourage him silently. Johnny, I saw you singing today. I'm so proud of you. But don't embarrass him. Don't call him out. Okay, so you're remembering. You're going to have a whole bunch of different kids in your class. Different skill levels, different ways they like to sing, and different personalities. You're going to have kids coming to you from different backgrounds. Maybe they've never had a music class before. Maybe they have had you before, and maybe they're going through puberty, so things are getting a little awkward, you know what I mean? And maybe they have different comfort levels with, maybe they love to sing. They sing in the car, they sing at home, but when it comes to singing in a classroom full of kids, that's a different story. So like I said, being comfortable singing sometimes just takes time. It just takes time. It is something that, so when I think about me as a child all the way through college, it is something I was not comfortable with. And I can tell you, it does. It just takes time. It just takes encouragement. That vocal teacher I told you about who encouraged me really made me want to, okay, I got to step up my comfort zone here and just do it. So being comfortable with singing takes time. Keep encouraging them, like I said. Encourage them, all the students, to keep singing. There's going to be some songs they're more interested in than others, and that's completely normal. Vary up the songs you do each day. Don't don't keep teaching rounds. Teach a round one day, and then the next week you're doing songs from Africa, and then the next week you're doing ballads, or next time you're doing partner songs, change up what you're doing, the different, tempos and dynamics, and you're going to notice just experiencing songs from different genres and cultures will help these kids develop their singing voice as well. And then scatter your strong singers around the room. And it's going to take you time, but you're going to eventually figure out who these kids are, and having them standing kind of around the room. Maybe you have your kids sitting in a rows, or however you have them organized. Just sometimes it's easy for the kids who are having trouble singing to hear these other kids singing, and helps them match pitch with what they're hearing next to them. So this is just an intro in getting, helping you to encourage you that if you have kids in your class who are not singing or are singing really softly, I'm just going to encourage you to be patient, to give it time, and know that you are not doing anything wrong. You are not doing anything wrong as a teacher. You are doing an amazing job by just encouraging them to keep going, and to encourage them to just keep singing, and they'll eventually come around. I promise you. And I don't know how many months. I can't predict how many months it will take, but eventually these kids will come around. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, I would love for you to review the show and leave a rating on iTunes. To find out more about how I can help you gain momentum in your elementary music teaching career, head to thedomesticmusician.com, where you'll find free downloads, courses, the blog, and so much more. Continue teaching music and never doubt the impact you're making each and every day in the lives of your students.